Hey up, buddy.
Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, good to be back on after that win.
Are we actually on live now, are we?
We are on live. Yeah,
Woohoo!
it's a bit of a strange start, but everyone, welcome to our post match reaction. We've just beaten Southampton by 2-1.
Come on, the Blues. happy, joy.
You can silence Mabsy's we've only won at St Mary's blah de blah argument now. We've just got
yeah, we've actually won. I mean, wow, that feels. It's hard to say that was a great result, a great performance, because yeah, it really wasn't. I thought that we played better in the first half. And then we conceded a stupid goal, and then we scored two really stupid goals as well from the point of view of their defending. And then we just faffed around for half an hour. It was so annoying. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, do the intro, mate. Come on, do the proper intro, and let's get going with this joy fest.
I think Ryan's there. Is it Ryan there? Are you just audio, or I think he's having a bit of trouble.
He's in a hotel lobby, so he's trying to act incognito, isn't he?
All right. Well, if maybe he'll join us in a second. I agree totally. I thought it was a frustrating game, but I just we've come away with a win, and that's the main thing.
We're in the top half.
I know. We've got 10 points now.
We're in the top half of the league.
Are we 10th now?
Ninth.
We're
ninth. I don't know what the proper table looks like. Let me have a little look on the. Let me have a little look on the old Tinternet. Premier League table. Let's just check this out, because it makes very positive reading for us. Oh, hang on now. It says we're 11th here.
Yeah, well, I think the Red site they got a draw, didn't they?
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh, we're 11th. Okay, fair enough. We're not in the top half. Bugger.
But still, we're like joint 11th, joint 10th, joint 9th, or something like that. Ryan, where are you? You're in the
Hello, can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can now.
Okay, I'm in the Peak District, so I can't hear anything Jeff's saying. Is he speaking?
No, he's not. Oh, he's on mute for some reason.
Has he muted himself?
Jeff, you've got to unmute yourself. It won't let me do it.
Why is that banner still up? Jeff, you're on mute.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm in the Peak District. I've got an 80th birthday party that I'm performing at 6 o'clock. So again, just a flying drop in onto your stream.
Right,
get
okay,
in,
cool.
First and foremost. I don't want to come on too negative, because we got 3 points, but the 20 minutes, we made hard work of that, because I thought Southampton were really poor today. And that final 25 minutes, I was crying out, why didn't we bring James Garner on and just try and get a bit of control of the ball? You know, it was only a matter of time before Southampton scored. Look, I don't want to come across too negative here. I'm made up we've won. I'm delighted we've won. It's a massive 3 points. And for 70 minutes, we were in total control. And we should have got the third goal. But why? Why make it such hard work for ourselves last 25 minutes?
Because we're Everton. Because Everton likes to make us suffer. That's why. Because being an Evertonian is suffering. That's what we're here for. We're paying for the sins of a past life, and so nothing's easy. That's why.
6 minutes of added time.
No, that's happening every game now. That added time. The added time thing's becoming a joke. You know, they have to stop the clock, because that's every week now. You're getting 5 or 6 minutes, regardless of what's happening.
Yeah, no, but then again, look at the piss taking Jordan Pickford does. Like, he wastes a lot of time. So
stop the clock. Stop the clock then.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's pointless. The whole thing's pointless. But I really, because I've got a weird delay as well. I don't know whether the headphones are affecting this as well. So let me just try and turn them off. Can you hear me still?
Hello. Yeah, we can actually hear you better now.
I've only got a few minutes, but I'm sure you're going to do a great job. I'm looking forward to listening back to this.
Excellent.
But when we were 2-1 up, do you not think we should have got that third goal within that minute? And you're looking at like Sir Damari Gray and asking why is he making the wrong decisions when he's got 4 or 5 options? And it looked like we were maybe one pass away from getting that third goal, which would have killed it off. That's the only slight thing I can think of, really. And why are the substitutions taking so long? You could clearly see Onana was knackered 65 minutes in. He's been on international duty. You've got 6 midfielders. You've got Davis, Garner, and Doucouré on the bench. Doucouré, you'd argue, would be a like-for-like replacement and would be fresh. Why have you not taken him off and allowed Southampton to just completely control that last 25 minutes? But look, I'm absolutely delighted with that result. And I think Everton look like a side that are going to go places. We obviously need another forward to come in and interchange because we've got 3 players who can only play for 65 minutes up there. But it's a good side. We actually look like we've got a game plan now. We look like we're
clearly not the finished article. We're clearly we're still a little bit disjointed, and we're still a little bit. We still have that tendency to have a little panic every now and then, which you know that's annoying to me. But it's one of those where the last I can't remember. I honestly can't remember when we last won back-to-back games. That's 7 games unbeaten. That's three results away from home back-to-back as well, because obviously there was the draw at Brentford, the draw at Chelsea, and now a win at Southampton. So that's 6 positive results on the bike, 3 wins, 4 draws.
2 wins.
Sorry, two. Yeah, sorry, the cup game. But 2 wins, 4 draws.
Jeff, we were losing every
so much
game.
Better.
We were losing all of these last season. We were tepid. Now I look at us and we've got a solid spine. Okay, Tarkowski made a stupid back pass error. Gay mainly at fault for that goal. But overall, on the balance of play, we were in total control. We passed and we had time on the ball because of the angles we created by good movement. And I think it's fortunate, really. You're right, Jeff. I think we do tend to panic a little bit too much when actually we were in total control. We needed to just play relaxed. And now we're looking from positive strength. Can we finish in the top half this season? Can we even compete for the top 8, top 6? Because I think it doesn't matter who's coming in and out of this team now. I think there's a way of playing. It's a 4-3-3. Fullbacks can push on. The 2 number 8s have got that ability to go into the box, drift wide, and create some overloads. And I think you've got a really good pressing front 3. And we've slated McNeil, haven't we? But he actually got that goal today, which was an outstanding finish.
Yeah. And the one thing I will say about McNeil is he put a good corner in. It's the first time in a long time that I've seen. Well, it's been a while. He puts a dangerous corner in. He mixes it up as well. He does a near post. He does a far post. So he does put a good dead ball in. But it's hard to sit there and nitpick because I mean we're obviously going to nitpick because we aren't the finished product. But you can't help but be happy because considering where we are in our kind of rebuild process, I think 10 points from the first 8 games is fantastic. That's fantastic. It's bang on schedule.
You actually summarised it because I've got to go. Sorry to interrupt you, but I do have to go in a sec. Jeff, you summarised it so well actually in your little pre-game chat with David and Dan when you said we're actually building from a position of strength, from a foundation that actually looks like there's a plan in place. So I think now you're looking optimistic about Everton. It's a fantastic result. Enjoy the match reaction. There's so many comments. Get them coming in. Make sure you subscribe, and I look forward to watching this back at 12 o'clock on my drive home.
Nice one. Have a nice night.
See you later. Get in, yes.
Get in up the Toffees. I'll see you later, buddy.
Yeah, it's
nice
clear
one.
we've got a game plan for sure, and I think from the back we build. I think moving forward, we need to look at the final third and actually think patterns of play. How do we score? We had so many opportunities in the final third today, especially in the first half, where we get to the final third and not really know how to create the goal. I mean, Iwobi's probably the most creative player, and he puts some nice crosses from kind of deep half right, half left channel positions. But I mean, we've got to be pleased with the progress because it's a million miles better than what we were seeing only 3 months ago, really.
Yeah. And I think if you look, again, looking back on where we were to looking where we are now, I think it's fair to say that in all the games we've played so far this season, I haven't seen any player for Everton have a stinker of a game or let us down in terms of the level of performance they're giving. Every player is trying. It isn't always working. People are making mistakes, but that's a human thing. But the fundamentals of what Frank Lampard's doing now is we're an organised team generally with an odd mistake in us, but we're generally a good organised side. We're a hard-working side. We put in the effort. I think there was some closing down issues today. We left them space for their goal.
Yeah, I think the midfield.
It's like going from where we were last year when the Spaniard left. I'll just say that to the summer transfer window, and then to where we are now. It's an upward trajectory. There's a clear sign of progress. There's team spirit. There's work ethic. There's some actual passing and interplay, and we're doing some good stuff. It's not all coming off yet, but the progress is so clear to see, and it's clearly an upward level of progress. It's 7 out of 10s almost every week now. From almost every player. Nobody's letting us down. The bench is starting to look a little bit stronger. We've got players on the bench who can come on, even if it's only for 15 minutes or 20 minutes and do something, contribute. I'm just really, really pleased with that. That feels like a massive result, because to follow up the result against West Ham with an away win.
Yeah.
Going into the big game next week against United, you've got to look forward to that with confidence, because it's
and the pressure is slightly more reduced now because we're not thinking desperately. We've just lost to Southampton. We need to get the points.
Correct. Yeah.
There's
exactly
a bit more
right.
freedom to play with. Should we go through the game?
I just want to read a quick few of the comments, because we've had a lot of comments come in. So I just want to show a quick few of these comments. Brilliant results, lads. Thanks, Trev. Great result. And away too, which that's a fantastic thing. And away too. I just want to read a few of these before we do the actual assessment of the game. And in this year's version of the fixture, that last year looked embarrassing. It did look embarrassing last year. So that we're a team that's made a habit of crumbling. Sorry, let me just. I'm trying to. That's the one. 2 consecutively. It's not coming up properly. Evening, chaps. let's actually assess the game. So,
First half.
I mean, the team. I was happy enough with the team. Obviously, no Gordon. He was so just for everyone, so we can put this argument to bed. He wasn't dropped. He basically was ill in the week, and so he wasn't really up for starting the game and whatever. So it was, we basically kept him and just thought we'll throw him in for half an hour, or 20 minutes or whatever, which was fine. I thought the team that started played well. I think that first half that we pretty much we dominated the game. We dominated the ball. We never looked under any threat.
Yeah.
And we deserved to be ahead on the balance of play. That we just weren't clinical enough, and that's obviously going to be a problem that we have to fix going forward. But on the basic balance of play, we looked like a good solid side that played in control. The passing looked better. The movement was good. Defensively, we looked solid. Yeah, it was.
I'd say we were
It was a good first half.
I'd say we were dominant in that first half. I think the only chances Southampton were getting was when we would give the ball to them on transition and make our own mistakes rather than them. They looked really poor, I have to say, that first half. I did not see anything from them. And the game was there for the taking. They looked like players who hadn't played together, and they didn't look that good in defence either. So you're just thinking, how are we going to get this goal here? And I looked at the stats at half time. We made, I think, one foul in the first half, which shows you how much in control we were, and they made about 6 or 7. It was part of the game plan. I'm sure Lampard would have said to them, "Don't foul Southampton. They've got Ward-Prowse. Don't let them put free kicks in." I don't think we gave them a corner in the first half, so we nullified all the set piece threats and just controlled the possession of the game. And it was just finding the goal, I think, that we really lacked that first half.
Yeah, it was, 50 quid off Cody too. No, nice one, Ian. Well done, lad. Get the beers in, son. Sorry, I'm just reading through a few more of these while you're talking. I'm just going to put them up on the screen.
There's not a huge amount more to say about the first half. I think Coleman, he slipped in nicely. He's really experienced. He knows what he's doing. The only thing that worries me is there's a lack of pace in that back line. Eventually, someone will get you caught out in transition. But the balance of the team was good. I mean, you Gordon and you McNeil are probably the ones frustrating you in that first half. Gray looks like he can create something, and he sometimes plays a pass that was sloppy. I mean,
Gordon wasn't on the pitch for the first half, so he can't have frustrated you much.
Great. Sorry. Gray was giving the ball away, and then the next minute he'd beat a man. So he was being very kind of, not very consistent. There was one chance I think he had which he should have buried. I think he beat a man, and it was on the sort of
cut inside and then shot, but basically straight at the keeper.
He should have slipped in Mopey, who was just off the right shoulder of him, and probably would have had a tap in. But we were creating some opportunities. McNeil didn't look like he was really in the game for me, and the only thing he provided was the corners. As you were talking about before, I was sat at the screen thinking, why is Gray taking all these corners? Didn't we buy McNeil for corners? And then he finally got a corner and he whipped it right onto the 6-yard box. You're thinking, just head it in.
Yeah.
He can't do much better than that. So we will look a threat from set pieces, especially with Onana in there.
Yeah, I think so. And this is the good thing now, is that even though we have got a couple of injuries and that's a problem or whatever, the fact that we're arguably missing at least 2 or 3 of our best players, and we're still getting results, that's a sign of a good side. And I think that to me, that's like the big takeaway from this first 8 games so far, is that we are clearly not the finished article. We've clearly got a way to go. There's clearly still things that we need to add to make us a better side.
Mm.
And yet, having said that, we're picking up regular points. We're picking up wins now. We're moving up the table. We're nice and solid in that middle pack now. We look a real hard outfit to beat, a hard team to score against. We've got quality players on the pitch. The passing looks better. We just look at it overall, night and day switch from the team that we were last year.
More confident, just overall.
Yes,
just makes a huge difference.
Yeah, which it is. It's massive confidence, and not just confidence, because I always hear this talk about confidence, and I always have this little thing in my head. Is there's confidence, but confidence can be hollow. It can disappear in the blink of an eye. Confidence can be just blown away by one mistake. I think what we've got is belief in what we're doing, and belief is much more solid because we all know that we can rely on those players. We know that those players know that they can rely on each other. Tarkowski made a mistake. Cody covered up for it. And then, Tarkowski then helped as well, and we got the situation sorted. In the second half, there was I think it was a free kick from Ward-Prowse, and who's on the line to clear it? Seamus Coleman. Pickford might have saved that, fair enough, but the fact that he was there and he's our backup right back, this is the thing, is we've got players who can come in and add to this team, do a good job, and be 6s out of 10s and 7 out of 10s. Nobody's going to sit here and say that we're the finished article. No one's going to sit there and say we're all playing at the top of our game, because we're not. But we're all playing a solid 6 or 7 out of 10 across the whole team and from the bench. And that's massive progress. It's huge.
Yeah. It makes a huge difference to your belief system as well, because once you go a goal up, you're probably going to see the game out. I mean, you're not going to concede more than 1 or 2 in a game unless you have a really poor game.
What was that? What did I say? I don't know what I said. Dave.
That's when your sound was not working, I think.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry about that. Just speaking of Jesus Jeff, I just want to put this back on because it's just funny. That used to be my nickname. When I was in the army, people who know me might know. When I left the army, I went through my little deer hunter phase, which is like after having years of skinheads and clean shaven, I went full Jesus. I grew my hair out like really long, had the beard, and yeah, people used to call me Jesus Jeff. So nice. Right, okay. I just thought I'd throw that in there. 80th, half of them won't be able to.
Yeah, I think we'll go down to Matty's, or
let's just have a little look here.
I think these are responding to a lot of stuff we were talking about in terms of time wasting and stuff like that.
Hey up, Jazz. How you doing, Chuck? Let's have a look. Glad to see Seamus back playing so well.
Yeah,
it was nice, and I know he's a little bit slow now and whatever, but he did all the basic stuff that you need him to do as a backup right back. He's more than adequate for a team like Everton to have him as a backup to our number one. That's it. Again, it's another sign of progress to be able to bring on bring a player like him in when we need. That's excellent. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. It's pleasing to know, because in previous years we've just had a player get injured and we've looked a different side off 1 or 2 injuries.
Yeah, when you're playing John Joe Kenny at left back, and you're playing like Holgate as right back and things like this, then you're in real trouble, don't you?
Yeah, it's just lopsided. That's what we've done with the squad, though, and you've got to give them credit for that, for balancing out the squad and putting 2 players in every position. 2 decent players.
Yeah, we'll get onto the man of the match thing in a minute, because I haven't really thought about who I would be giving the man of the match to, but he's a good shout. Although we did make a bit of a stuff up for the free kick. So I'm not sure whether he would be man of the match or not for me. I don't know.
Got some happy blues on here.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
It is good for once.
just to go into that, Phil. European spot soon, whatever. I think that I don't know whether we are good enough to be challenging for the European spot at the minute. However, if we're in there or thereabouts territory, and then we get the January window and we bring in a couple of other players, then we put ourselves in a good position to make a second half of the season run, the post-World Cup sort of phase of the season. Why not? Why not? We've got a good, well-balanced team, and I think that's, all you can do is put yourself in a position for it. And if you end up coming short, that's fine. But to be honest, taking that dreaded R word out of the conversation and not being mentioned in that kind of, bottom 6, kind of conversation, that'll do for me for now. I'm really happy with that. So, yeah, let's go into the second.
It's a weird season in a way, with it being, well, obviously there's about 8 games left minus today's, and then you've got the World Cup, so you could get back after the World Cup and be a different team. I mean, the motivation for individual players is certainly going to be less, so we'll have to see. It's going to be a weird 2-season season.
He's up in the Lake District, mate, because he's doing it. He's DJing or playing at a wedding. So yeah, that's why he's out and about in the freezing. Yeah, great 3 points. Yeah, cheers. Thanks for joining, Rich. Thanks everyone for joining, and thanks everyone for commenting. And yeah, keep your comments coming.
Hit the like button, please, and subscribe.
Oh yeah, hit the like button already. See, I'm new to this. I don't do all this. Like, comment, and subscribe, and all this stuff. I should learn all this stuff. Between Garner and Pickford and Iwobi for man of the match. Yeah.
I need to think about that one.
Yeah, I need to think about that one.
I wasn't impressed as much as people are in the comments with our midfield 3 today, but I'll come on.
No, I wasn't either.
When we talk about the second half, I'll explain why, and I've actually got a screenshot of one of the transitions in the game.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
I don't want to be too critical at this stage. It was a good victory.
Yeah. No, this is the thing, isn't it? Is when you can be nitpicky, but you've got 3 points in the bag. That it's a good thing. Now that is something that we definitely should be talking about, Lawrence.
Yeah.
Is finally we've been. This is the one thing I was saying, is people were talking about, should we give him a new contract and this, that, and the other, and he's having a bit of a renaissance, but what he needs to do is start delivering, and he is delivering now. That's 4 assists already this season. That's excellent productivity for what is now essentially a number 8 central midfielder. He is creating, and we need it. And yeah, that 4 assists in 8 games, that's really good productivity for him.
I don't know whether that's counting the pre-assist as well, because to my memory, I think he might have had 1 or 2 pre-assists.
Yeah, where he's part of the move that led to the goal, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only another 30 to go.
So,
I'm not sure.
So what?
I'm not sure I'm not sure what to. Another 30 games to go. Oh yeah, another 30 games to go. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Let's have a look. I'm just trying to catch up on some of these comments. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, let's use Matty's comment there as a sort of let's go into the second half kind of
Okay.
and we'll talk about
the roller coaster 10 minutes at the start.
Yeah. An amazing 10 minutes of in the life of an Evertonian. So yeah, go on. You can give your little assessment there.
Well, I'll say firstly that I thought obviously Lampard's got them in at halftime. He's probably been talking about how clinical or lack of clinical nature of the performance in the first half. I noticed he kind of moved Onana a little bit more higher up the pitch. I don't know if you noticed that he wasn't really getting back, which I think was also part of the fault of why the midfield struggled. But I think that was also one of the main reasons we were being such a threat, because by having Onana and his physical presence already up the pitch, to be able to ping the goal kick to him and flick it on was very successful. And also just having him to get it to make runs into the box when we were in the final third, because he was already in the attacking sort of third of the pitch. So I noticed that change. But generally, let's go into sort of gameplay. I think we came out, we looked all right for a moment. I can't actually remember their goal too well. I just remember we gave the ball away. Oh, I think Ghana played a pass through midfield that was dodgy, and they picked
which
it up.
Which is why he's not getting my man of the match, Matty.
Yeah,
he made a few mistakes today.
It was a forced pass, I would say, trying to force it through, and it got intercepted, and they come on the counter attack, and then nobody closed down the attackers, and he got the shot off. That's what I can remember. I've only seen it once.
No, you're right, and like because I think it was Matty before who said Garner gave us his man of the match. I thought that's the worst game he's had since he got here, because he made quite a few mistakes. He got caught out of position a few times. So I didn't actually think that was his best game. Which isn't to say that he was rubbish, but I just thought that he made a few mistakes and got caught out. His mistake led to their goal, and I think also he gave away a really dangerous free kick that they could have scored from, which Seamus Coleman cleared. You don't give away silly fouls on the edge of the box to Ward-Prowse. He's so dangerous. We know what he's done to us before. So I think it's weird actually. The last two games that we've played, I've kind of felt that they've not been the best. I like the Leeds game and the Liverpool game. I thought we were brilliant. The West Ham game at home. We didn't really look. We were solid, but we didn't look that good. Yeah, we didn't look that good. And then again today, we looked good up to a point, but then we did make quite a few mistakes. So
we did, like we did at Brentford as well. We gave them chances through little
exactly
mistakes,
the same.
Being 2 meters away from where you needed to be, and just being a yard off pressing them as well. It's almost like the level of the opposition means mentally, I'm not gonna. We've been notorious for it in the past, that when we play Man U or City or whatever, we get out to them and we're aggressive, and we play like
we were lackadaisical today.
Yeah, we knew probably they were bad, and they probably thought we were going to be bad.
Yeah. So that's an interesting. It's funny that the last two games haven't been brilliant for us, and yet we've got 6 points from them. And the games where we really fought and we were struggling, we got results from those games. somewhat against the run of play, you might say, by battling and working hard and stuff like that. And where today we had a little bit more control of the game, and we should have gone on to dominate the game and finish it. We really should. And yet we make a silly mistake and concede a goal, and you just think, where the hell did that come from? Because we were so solid, and then we've had a good half-time team talk, and we're thinking, right, we're putting a good performance. Let's up our level. Let's finish some of these chances, and let's bury this game. And we concede a stupid goal, and you think, oh my god, but it's like Everton needs some kind of adversity or something to wake us up, because once we conceded the goal, we went up a level, and it was like bang bang. Score a goal, score another goal, we get in front, and then we switched off again. And then we just sat back and let them come at us and dominate. And, we held out, but, Pickford had to make a good save. Seamus Coleman had to do a headed clearance. We did a couple of really stupid mistakes playing out of defence. Tarkowski's one was a horror show. And yet we come away with the points. So you can't be too negative about it, but you just want to see this ruthless side to us, get. But I think the more confidence we get, the more we play together, the more we get familiar, the more Frank gets the mindset right, the better we're going to get. So, I'm delighted with the result. Absolutely delighted with the result. Oh yeah,
Jeff, we're gonna bring back in Toffee Dan, who's gonna give us his reaction.
Well, hi. Not sure how long I've got, but I have to say I was hugely impressed with Everton's performance this afternoon. I know they weren't playing a particularly strong or confident side, but I've just passed a comment on The Guardian where I said I didn't feel when we went one down that we were going to lose this game. I mean, we bossed the first half. For all that the stream said that we were wasteful, well, I didn't agree with that at all. I thought Southampton defended reasonably well, and they were only half chances. They were only half chances anyway, apart from perhaps the grey one.
The grey shot, yeah.
To say that we'd missed chances or it was poor is a bit harsh. I thought we controlled the game mostly from start to finish. Pickford had very little to do, pulled off one great save. The winning goal was excellent, and Everton have earned the right to win that game because they fought like tigers at Leeds and didn't deserve to win that, but got a point. Fought like tigers at Brentford, didn't deserve that and got a point. Last season's Everton would have collapsed in both games, and this season's Everton are completely different. 7 games without defeat. We're mid-table. We look like we actually know what we're doing when we're on the ball. We look like we know how to defend. And if a team beat us, they're going to have to play reasonably well to beat us now. I don't think we were great against Chelsea or Villa for that matter. We caught a lucky break missing Arsenal because of the death of the Queen. So Everton are on a bit of a rise, and I'm pretty happy. I'd have settled for mid-table, and finding the odd away win was really, really good. I mean, what is it? Three times we've been ahead in 4 away games. That's not the normal Everton that I've become used to. And so I'm sorry, I'm saying too much. I'm very happy. We got 3 points. Great weekend.
Oh, we're all happy. We're all happy, and I think what we were trying to say was that I think the fact that we're still not playing, I think that what's making me really happy is to know that we're still nowhere near the best that we're going to be. We're still a work in progress. We've still got a lot to learn and a lot to grow and a lot to improve upon. But getting results while we're doing it. That's the
important thing.
Yeah.
So we've got 10 points. And I mean, we drew with Liverpool. We lost to Chelsea. So that's 9 points from 6 games, is it? Excluding those, that if you take that over the 24 games, that's I don't know, 40 points. We sneak up to 45, 40. I thought we'd get 47, 49 points this season. So I'm more than happy with the progress so far.
Yeah, I think so. And the thing is, as I forgot your name again, Basil. Sorry, mate, Dave. But yeah, the fact that we've won these last 2 games, our next couple of games are quite difficult because obviously we've got Man United and we've got Chelsea. We've also got Newcastle. They're our next 3 games. And they're all going to be tough, and it's going to be a struggle to get points off them. But the fact that we've got points on these games take a little bit of pressure off those games because we can still come out the other side of those, even if we were to lose all 3, which I don't think we will. But even if we did, then we could go into another little run of games, pick up another 3 to 3, 6, 7 points, something like that, and you go into the midwinter break close to 20 points. Halfway to job done, and then you've got the whole rest of the season to sort of get as high up as you can and get as close to sort of mid-table or even the edge of the European places, especially with the good transfer window.
The problem was for is Everton to lose 5 or 6 on the bounce and suddenly go from a comfortable 10th to an 18th, and the pressure's back on. And the next game up is against Bournemouth at home, and you lose that, and the whole thing just falls apart. That's where we were last season for at least until March, April. And I'm very happy that Coleman had a decent game. The whole team looked decent from 1 to 11.
Yeah.
Iwobi was controlling the whole midfield. Amadou's looking a better player match by match. Garner's looking extremely competent behind the front, the midfield, and I'm delighted. Looks like I might be on my way out the door now, though.
Oh yeah,
going out to celebrate.
You're going out to celebrate, are you? Nice. Get on the scoops,
right,
lad.
Gotta go. Okay.
Nice
Thanks.
one. Have a nice evening,
Sam.
my mate. Up to Toffees.
No, I'm all right. I've got a bit longer.
Oh, you still got a few more minutes.
Go on then.
So yeah, we're basically level with Liverpool.
Yeah,
wow.
Same points.
We've got the same points as Liverpool. That's madness.
They have got another game.
They've got a game in it. Yeah, they've got a game in hand. Yeah, no, I just noticed
Brentford
that.
there. We've got Brentford level as well.
The thing is, like, if you look at what people are talking about Newcastle, they're 7th. We're only 1 point off Newcastle, and they're the team that, everyone's lauding about how brilliant they are, and, they're going to be one of the ones to challenge for Europe this year. The fact that we're only 1 point behind them, and we've played Chelsea and we played City, we've played three tough. I mean, every away game in this league is tough, but Leeds is a tough away game. Brentford, they're a really difficult team to play at the moment. And then we've just gone to St Mary's and picked up 3 points. I'm delighted where we are. I'm so delighted with where we are based on where we thought we might be. Oh, it's just such a massive improvement, isn't it? It's great being an Evertonian, isn't it?
I don't know about that. But,
it is today.
Yeah.
It is today.
It's great themselves because they've had some very winnable games that they've not won. Brighton are a tough side these days, and they've played Palace and Brighton at home, Bournemouth at home. They scraped past Newcastle thanks to extra Fergie time. Is that their 4 home games? They're not done for, and they're shipping goals, at the wrong end.
Yeah.
So
they've
got problems, but that's not really a concern, is it?
Let's focus.
No, it's not our problem, isn't it?
Our ascending nature of going up the table, hopefully.
I think
Coleman look knackered. He always looks knackered.
Hey, Amanda. Yeah, Coleman looked knackered, but that's his first.
No.
I mean, that's his first 90 minutes since.
I've seen that quite a few times.
May?
Now. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen Coleman look knackered quite a few times towards the end of games. I mean, he's 33 and playing against 25-year-olds and 20-year-olds.
Yeah,
there's an 18-year-old kid at left back playing for Southampton.
Yeah, I think on that note, I think the good thing is that we don't play till Sunday night now, so we've got 8 days until our next game.
Yeah.
So obviously, fitness-wise, that gives us time with players. Coleman.
And United have got a game in Europe, have they?
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
United got a game in Europe on midweek, and
I think they're away in Europe as
well. Some distance away.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, that gives us a fair shout. And to be honest, even if we were just to get a draw from that game, you could take that because, like you say, it's about accumulating points, isn't it?
So Manchester United are playing where on Tuesday? I can't find it. When Thursday?
Thursday, yeah. Europa League.
Omonia. That's is that
Omonia
Cyprus?
Nicosia. Is that Cyprus? Yeah.
So they got to play in Cyprus.
That's a bit of a distance.
Thursday night.
That's a 4.5 hour journey.
Yeah, but they're apparently 5-1 on favourites, so they probably only send half a team.
They'll probably send half. Yeah, they'll switch it around. And they've got a deep squad, haven't they? They'll play Ronaldo. Yeah. They'll send the kids with Ronaldo.
I tell you what's interesting though is again when you look at it, if we were to beat United next week, which is not beyond the realms of possibility because they're not that good. They're still capable of beating us. Don't get me wrong; they've got good players and all that kind of stuff, but they're not unbeatable. And if we were to win that game, we'd go above them. So it's we're nicely in the mix.
I think they're playing tomorrow.
Oh, right. I forgot. Sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah,
they're playing City, so you might be right.
Yeah, they're playing City, so they're going to get snotted. Nice one.
They could have a bad week.
Yeah.
Well,
they could have a bad week. Send Ronaldo to Cyprus and get into a snot.
They looked in good form, so let's hope City peg them down a notch. See, this with what Peter's saying, I'm agreeing with him. I found it struggle. It took me about 10 minutes before I could actually see the game. The first 10 minutes, I was watching 5 seconds, and then the thing would pause, and then I'd have to click it, and then wait to reset.
Well, the trials and tribulations of watching Everton.
Our dear boss, Ryan sent me a good link, so
Ryan's one was much better than what I had originally.
Yeah. That one did me sound. So, I'm just catching up on some more of these messages. Yeah, this is another thing to consider as well. We won from being down again, and that's another thing is rather than conceding a goal and crumbling and falling to bits, as you were saying, we conceded a goal and we went nah. And we rolled our sleeves up and went, right, we're getting back into this, and then we come storming back. That's progress as well, isn't it?
The stream went down at 1-0, and when it came back, it's 1-1, and I thought, well, I was actually confident that we would do that. We don't do that very often. We did it against Arsenal last year, didn't we? We've got 5 points away from home already, and only 9 last season. Absolutely. Plus the 5 points, we lost all 3 games we lost all 4 games last season. We lost at Brentford, we lost at Leeds. No, we drew at Leeds. We lost at Southampton. So we had 1 point, and this year we got 5. So we're now
massive, isn't it?
3 points better off than last season because we picked up a point at Liverpool and we dropped 3 to Chelsea, and we what was the other one? And we beat West Ham because we lost to them last year. So we're 3 points up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not bad.
No,
so you've got you. I know people like there's still criticism of I heard Ryan having a little. He was having a little chunter about it before about the substitutions that Lampard's making and the timings of them, and it's maybe they're too late and stuff like this. But it's hard to pick holes in the job that he's doing because if we're winning games and we're not losing, we're not conceding a lot of goals. We look so much tougher to beat, tougher to play against, competitive.
We've got the best defensive record in the division at the moment.
Well, with Brighton having conceded 3 goals, then I think we might be second now because City.
City 6 from 7.
City first, then us.
Yeah,
6 from 7, and then
Liverpool obviously conceded 3 as well.
and Everton 7.
Yeah, so that's good, isn't it? We can't really moan at that.
So if City concede tomorrow, well, there you go.
Yeah. And that's exactly it. I will take mid-table. No DCL, no Gordon. We won coming from behind after our collective pain. This is progress. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Mr.
Point.
Flash. Sorry, I'm just trying to go through a few of these.
That's right. I mean, everybody would say that Calvert-Lewin and Gordon and Pickford, who was out for the last game, are obviously our 3 best players.
Yeah.
And we're doing
that's a good point,
Amanda.
Amanda. Good point, Amanda. We do like to keep the ball more than one. Our passing is so much better than it did. I mean, we were getting 25 and 30% possession last year, and our passing stats were atrocious. The improvement it's off the scale.
And watch other team come to Goodison, and I see them attack, and I think they're going to score, and I'm wondering, why can't we do that? Why can't we keep the ball? Why can't we have? I mean, I don't mean keep the ball to the point where you don't actually ever shoot, but retain possession. And other teams, when they go on the attack, you think they're going to score against us, but you just don't think we're going to do that. But today, we actually look like some of that crisp passing. Some of it was a bit too crisp, a bit too quick. But that's better than slow, and then lose possession and get frustrated because the ball's gone back to the halfway line again. Much better.
He's ill, Kevin. He's got really bad migraines, so I don't think he even saw the match today. So he's not well, mate. So send him your best wishes, everyone. I'm sure he'll be back for the next game.
The actual turnovers in possession as well, having a natural defensive midfielder in Gay and having players who work hard off the ball and win the ball back automatically brings you possession earlier than last year when we were watching oppositions get to our box before we would stop at anything.
Mr. Lynch or Mr. P. Lynch is saying they're not our best players if we're winning. Well, he's right, because we've obviously added Onana and Garner Gay. There's 2 more, and Iwobi as well. And so there's 6 players there. You would, and then you could start to say Mikalenko and Patterson and the 2 centre halves, and our first 11, perhaps even Graham, and our first 11 is starting to look half decent.
Yeah, it is.
Which is. But basically, if you ask the question, who in our side would the best sides in the division poach, which is obviously something we don't want to happen. There'd be room for Pickford in a top side. There'd be room for Iwobi in a top side. There'd be room possibly for Calvert-Lewin in the likes of Newcastle. And Mikalenko, somebody would come and sniff at him. So obviously that's a reflection of the players' ability and the coaching that's going into those players. So, and Gordon, of course, we already know that. We don't want to lose these players, but if they're attracting attention, that must be because they're playing quite well.
Yes. Yeah.
Even the likes of Neil Maupay, who's come in the last 3 games, and we've got 7 points from 3 games. We were struggling to get the wins, and he obviously didn't score today, but he's doing the unsung kind of groundwork. And for a player who's not very big in stature, he does hold the ball quite well when the ball's
he's a little shit. So he annoys people.
He gets in your face.
And I think there's something as well Lampard's obviously spoken about, and we'll have talked about it before as well. Is like previously when the ball got turned over, like if we were attacking last year and we lost the ball, we were immediately getting countered, and it was countered at pace, and teams would go through us and be on us in a flash. And now with players like Mopé being a little shithouse, he slows down the counter attack for the opposing team because when they get the ball, he just gets in their face and he does niggly little fouls.
We've got 3 players in midfield who don't give up. Who've got pace and they've got power. Onana and Garnagay hasn't got pace, but he's a powerful, strong defender, and Iwobi is puts in a real shift, and so they're not going to get past us. And the 2 solid fullbacks, they're not going to get past us as easily as before. Identifying the weakness that we had before, which was, probably Coleman, and probably, Keane turns as slow as a boss. Good header of the ball, decent defender, but easily turned,
Yeah. No, you're right, Nicky. We were very sloppy in the first half. We're not clinical enough, but
it's something we have to improve.
It's something we're going to have to improve on.
If we're playing a better team, we don't get those chances in the second half to overturn it to 2-1, and we lose or we get a point. So
good point.
We've got to capitalize on that dominant first half.
Hey, up live of it.
Correct.
Sure, we stopped losing games. No, we were getting actual wins.
We're actually putting a couple of wins in.
Yeah, which is all great news. It's all great news. If the team our best team, who would you drop and who would you replace them with?
Obviously want Patterson in for.
We obviously want Patterson back. Yeah. You really do want. I know he's been a problem because of the injuries, but you put DCL up top in this side, and whip crosses in. You're going to score more goals. It's just a fact. He is our number 9, and the sooner we can get him properly fit and firing, the better. Because, we're muggling through games and we're picking up points and we're doing all right.
If we could afford 2 up front, I'd play Calvert-Lewin and Mopé and replace Gray with Gordon.
Gordon on the bench.
Gray is an impact substitute. It depends on who you're playing against, whether you can afford to play 2 up front at home anyway.
I'd like to.
Europa League.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's see where we are in January, and we'll
let's get to the World Cup and see where we got to.
Well, we're going to get a nice break at the World Cup. None of our players are going to be there. Not many of them.
Well,
no, Pickford.
Pickford.
Onana.
Pickford, Cody, Onana.
I don't think Cody will go.
I think he'll be in the squad.
Do
you? Maybe. Perhaps he'll be dropped from Maguire. And
Patterson.
Scotland aren't going.
Scotland aren't in it. Yeah, Scotland
aren't going. Ukraine won't.
Ukraine win.
Yeah, Ukraine aren't there.
I'm not convinced. Oh, Ghana might be there with Senegal. I'm not sure Onana will be there. He's only a new.
Iwobi.
Nigeria aren't there.
Yeah, I think Iwobi will be there. Yeah.
No, I don't think Nigeria.
I don't think they. Yeah, I don't think they got through.
Oh, did they not go through? Oh, that's a bonus.
So all the big sides are going to come back from the World. They're going to have 14, 15, 16 players coming back from the World Cup.
All knackered and injured. Brilliant.
Needing a recovery time,
Excellent.
I mean, you look at the Liverpool squad, for example. I mean, half of them will be going to the World Cup. Half of the Chelsea team will be. Most of their first 11 will be at the World Cup. Chelsea,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think he would.
Clean up alongside Mopé. Yeah, he probably would. A little sharpen Heath.
Yeah.
Well, he's not really built like Heath. I mean, physically, he's about the same height, but Mopé, but different physique. But
Yeah, and I think so. So basically, the last bit I want to talk about is Lampard. Before we did the man of the matches and stuff like that.
We're still, Jeff. We're still on 55 minutes, aren't we?
Are we?
Yeah, we just talked about the opposition's goal just before Dan came in, and then
right, okay, yeah. Sorry, it feels like we've been on a while. We have been waffling.
We have. We
haven't actually really talked about the goals either. You're right. Yeah. No, fair enough. Okay, well,
I wasn't worried too much about the Southampton goal. It was a decent build-up, and it wasn't really too much down to any mistake we made.
Well, we gave the ball away, and
we gave the ball away.
Teams give the ball away. Yes, I know, but there wasn't a defensive.
We had time. We had time to do something about it.
We didn't close them down. We didn't close them. We didn't get back.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our instant reply from Cody from Onana's knockdown.
Yeah.
So happy to see him score. Really happy to see him score. Oh, is Ryan back? Our dear leader's back. Hello, Ryan.
I can't believe he's still going.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking we were getting ready to close it up, and we haven't actually talked about the our 2 goals yet, apparently. So, yeah, you talk about them.
You want me to talk about the goals?
Yeah, our 2 goals, yeah.
I've just come on because I'm bored, and I was about 30 minutes behind on the stream watching it back while I'm waiting to start at 6:45. Thought you're talking so much sense, I've got to get back involved. It's too good.
Nice.
Well, the first goal that the conceded goal is a blind pass, isn't it? Onana's turned his back. Why doesn't he play it out to the right back? Why is he not playing it to the right back there? He's got acres of space. Stupid pass. And is it something I said, Dan?
Yeah.
It's a strange pass, but I think you've got enough players back there to deal with it. I mean, what did you think? Why are they not getting close enough to deal with it? Thanks, Amanda, for the super sticker. That's very kind.
We're prepping at the same time, Ryan, but I was just going to say that. Thank you very much, Amanda.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. Thanks very much.
I was going to say, it's a silly pass, isn't it? You know, he can just play it out to the right back. But I think you've got enough players there to deal with it. Gay actually does get back, but I think if you look back at it, Coleman and Gay are both going for the same player. Instead of tracking the third man run, who ultimately causes havoc, they both go for the same man. It creates a weird overload. The shot as well, it's quite close to Pickford, but it goes under him. It's a bit of a shame, but let's focus on the 2 goals we did score, because I think, the transitions is something we saw an issue with. David obviously mentioned it before.
Nice one, Paul.
The transitions were a bit of a weird issue for us, aren't they? When we lose it stupidly and then it comes straight through to us. So I think we've got to deal with them better. But the 2 goals we did score were great. I think Onana's physical presence, as you alluded to before, using him from the goal kicks, using him from the corners, using him from the long ball situations, and actually saying to him, look, you can get forward into the box and create havoc, and he does. And he gets the assist. I don't know whether it was the cleanest contact, but Cody, I'm so delighted he got his goal, finally.
Finish.
Yeah, it was a lovely finish. It was a really nice finish. Yeah,
Daniel, he's got a bit of a striker's instinct, hasn't he, Connor Cody?
Yeah.
Is that me? Yeah, very much so. Yeah, I think I've been hugely impressed by Amadou Onana in his first 2 or 3 games. I mean, of course, he's a bit raw and he's young, but he's got a smart head on him. I was listening to an interview he gave while he was still playing in at Lille, and a smart lad, and I think he's going to go places, and we should appreciate him while he's ours.
Yeah, I actually think he's playing within himself still. I don't know whether anyone has noticed this, but I see someone there who's probably got a massive set of lungs on him, who could run for days. I reckon if he was on the treadmill, his fitness would be out running everyone. And then you look at it and you see him jogging around at times, and And really, I just want him to stretch his legs and open up his legs. And, sometimes he gets it with acres of space. Just run. You've got the technique.
I just think
go and get off the leash. Do you know what I mean?
I completely
feel
agree with you.
sometimes he doesn't want to run.
I see Patrick Vieira in him. Box to
But he
box.
did tire today. He tired today. We should have made the substitutions.
I almost see him more like a Yaya Toure.
Yeah,
but they're similar.
They're
in complete control of the middle of the pitch.
They can offer something in both boxes. They're dynamic. They're a presence.
And he's got a little,
I'd like to see him.
A little bit of Fellaini about him as well.
He's probably
he's all elbows and he gets up there and
Pogba without the attitude, the bad attitude, maybe.
Yeah,
without the bad attitude.
I think
he's really got a very good attitude.
Yeah,
he's probably not
21
up to there yet, but he will develop it. There was a few balls, I think there was one, he had the middle of the pitch, he could have slipped through Mopi through on goal, and it went to their keeper because he overhit it so drastically. Bad, but I think he will develop and he will learn. At least he has the vision.
Well, I think that's part of the thing I was talking about before, where the more positive results we get, the more composure and the more calmness we will get as a team. We overhit and we panic. We have a tendency to panic a little bit every now and then, and we rush things or we overhit things sometimes because we're not fully settled side yet. But I think once we get that composure that comes from consistent results over a period of time, you get more composure, you get more sure of what you're doing, and I think those passes will start getting a little bit better. The mistakes will drop and I think it's a positive sign.
With the confidence that'll come. I mean, just briefly touching on Onana again before you go to the second goal, I think he's probably playing at a 6 out of 10 of his potential. Actually, genuinely. You're talking about those errors. You're talking about one of the crosses where it was a simple header for him to just head it in the centre of the goal, free header. There was a couple of them. I think he's a 6 out of 10 at his potential. I'm not saying he played bad. He played well. I think he tired. He was one of a few that should have probably been changed earlier, but his potential is massive. With the second goal, I think you see that again, don't you?
Yeah.
When we get the 8 out of 10 performances from him, he's going to be some player.
Yeah.
And he'll be off. But hopefully he shows some loyalty. Hopefully he shows some loyalty because
I don't think he hasn't shown any loyalty in his previous 3 or 4 clubs. So I think if you're realistic, 2 years down the line, when a Man United come knocking with 70 million, or Chelsea or Arsenal, we know we're going to have to take it.
The only thing I will say is that if you look at the history of his moves, they weren't. He basically was moving towards being a Premier League player. That's what he wanted. And the moves were engineered. Like he moved from Belgium to Germany, then he moved from Germany to France, and he wasn't really playing an awful lot for any of those sides. He was just literally progressing his career to get to the Premier League, and I think that he loves it here, and you can tell he loves it here. He's enjoying himself. I don't think he'd be in a rush to go anywhere if we
might
progress.
We might be able to hang on to him if we make progress.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be able to keep him till he's 26 or 27. But, if we can keep him for 2-3 years and we get that new stadium built, I mean, that's a place to play. You want to play football. And if you've got a manager like Frank Lampard, a stadium that we're going to have, and we're playing regularly at the top end of the league, European football and stuff like that, there's less pressure on anyone to be wanting to go anywhere. You're more likely to be able to keep them. I think if we'd have been in Europe, if we'd have been in Europe these last few years, I don't think Richarlison would have gone anywhere. He liked being here. I think
I'm not worried about Onana going. to be honest with you, now or next season or the season after. I think he's one of the players who's come to develop with the club as we head towards the new stadium. I've got no problems with that. And just on that second goal, and I will have to shoot as well personally. Because I'm meant to be working. There's nothing happening till 6:45, but I need to set up. He creates a havoc, doesn't he? And it forced to McNeil. McNeil was terrible, but scored an absolute cracking goal. So you've got to give credit where credit's due. I'll accept. Can we block that guy? Block him. Time out. Someone sharing adult sites in the comments. But yeah, I'll accept his 4 out of 10 performances if he's going to put a rocket in the top corner. And actually, if you think about it, he's better on the left. Come on,
he's much better on the left.
Yeah, much better on the left. He's a 4-4-2 left winger, or he's a left-sided player. Look, I just don't get how you can be as one-footed as him, because you look at Iwobi, you look at Gray. These are very, very right-footed players, but it doesn't seem to limit them in the same way. It limits McNeil. It's like he won't touch it with his right foot. It's like he's got fire on his foot.
Well, the one thing I will say is, I don't know if you've watched any of the training videos, but they're clearly working on that, because they've had him taking shots and doing passes with his right foot. So it's clearly something that he knows, and obviously our coaches know that it's something he's got to work on, because he is too one-dimensional if he can only go on his. So I think that's something that he will improve over time.
I think they were saying that he doesn't have a shot on him and he can't score goals, but nobody could forget the winner he got for Burnley at Goodison 2 or 3 years ago, where he walloped it in from 30 yards. And for someone who doesn't know how to shoot, admittedly it was a friendly and it was largely irrelevant. He put in a couple of decent shots to score against Ukraine, and as you say,
and then he scored today.
Well, that's part of his job. If you're not going to take shots, I mean, if you're not going to, sometimes you look at the stats and you go, blimey, that player played 150 times for Everton as a winger and he only scored 8 goals. And you think, why so few?
I do have to go, guys. It's a great stream.
Yeah.
But I think with McNeil, what was I going to say? I can't remember.
Playing on the left and getting crosses in.
If he could be Calvert-Lewin.
He needs to play on the left. He's got more of the pitch to open up onto with his left foot.
He takes too many touches. That's what it is for me. He takes too many touches.
Then? Who's our man of the match?
I'll leave that to you guys. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Nice one. Have a nice night. I'll see you later.
I'm gonna go with Iwobi. I think most things went through him again. I might say Garner Gay had a good game.
Yeah.
What?
I'm just trying to decide who I want to give the man of the match to. It's a tough one, because I don't think anyone was really bad, but I also don't think anyone was particularly great either. I think it was 6s and 7s across the board. So I'm gonna give it to Connor Cody.
Right. You've stolen my man of the match.
Have I? Oh God, I'm really sorry, mate. Because I just think he's such a natural, solid leader. He does everything really well, and he's got a cracking little goal at the end. And he, after the goal that was disallowed in the derby, I was just really happy to see him score. So I'm going to give it to Cody.
He said in his interview, "My eyes lit up a little bit at the back post when I saw it pop down. It was important we got it and that we bounced back pretty quickly from going behind. We work a lot on second phase set piece, trying to make sure we do them right. It's pleasing when something like that comes off."
Nice one. Yeah.
So have we all voted for our man of the match?
Yeah.
Basil?
Well, I'm going with Cody as well, because I just felt like the midfield three were. I think they had good moments. I think Onana was good in the opposition box. Gay got good tackles in, but he made a mistake. And Iwobi was very good with the assist. I did want to highlight the. I don't want to end on a too negative note, and I know I've buried you over here, but this was a typical example of what kind of happened between when we went 2-1 up for about 10-15 minutes after they were in transition in this sort of moment. You've still got Iwobi too high up. You've still got Onana nearly out the picture. And this was a constant theme that Gay was left on his own to do all the defending in that central area. And I just thought, I don't know whether that was a tactical issue. I don't know whether that was legs because of the international games that Iwobi and Onana had been on. But, you know, I just felt that the midfield wasn't quite
you're right. There's only one of those four midfielders, and that's Garner Gay, who's a dedicated defender.
Yes.
I mean, you can't get a tackle. You won't get too many tackles out of Damari Gray. I think you get tackles out of Onana and obviously Alex Iwobi too, but they're often on the front foot. As of course Gray is, and Gordon is often on the front foot when he's on the pitch.
Yeah.
So in a sense, we've not got the shield of perhaps Decore or Davis or whoever else we've had before that's been and gone. And so thank God we've got Garner Gay, I should say. Incidentally, if we're talking about man of the match choices, they got a grand old team. 70% voted for Cody or Gay, and the majority of those for Connor Cody.
Yes, we got it right. Okay. Well done. Nice one. So yeah, and I mean it's clear that when you're looking at the man of the match picks every week, you're looking at the same players pretty much all the time. You're looking at Cody, you're looking at Tarkowski usually, you're looking at Iwobi, Pickford. You know, we're getting solid 7 out of 10s every week from a lot of players. But the one thing I would like to say is we need to give credit to the unsung heroes because once again, the little Ukrainian on the left back spot, he never gets a mention. He never gets high praise. Yeah. But he's always doing his job, and he puts tackles in, and he gets about the pitch, and he does. You know, he's never going to set the world on fire like a Leighton Baines. You know, scoring. Well, I mean, he has scored one decent goal, but he just does all the basic stuff really well for the most part. He puts in good tackles. He pressures. He forces. If you watch him play, he quite often forces the players inside. I can't remember how many times, and I know he did it once. The West Ham game, he got beat once. But in general terms, when you watch him play, he does not get beat on the outside. He really doesn't get beat on the outside, and like wingers coming against us, they very rarely get to the byline and whip the ball back because he's normally there. And so normally what you're seeing is they get down the side, he closes off the channel, and they go back inside and then try and put a cross in from further back. But when they do that, it means that from the defensive point of view, that instead of them getting down the channel and putting in the cross where it's behind us and coming, you know, the defenders have turned away. If he's pushing them back out and the crosses are coming in from a little bit further up the pitch, it means the centre-backs are both being able to look at the cross and look at the players coming in. It makes it so much easier because we're defending crosses so much better. And I think both full-backs, obviously Patterson and Mikalenko, they're doing a great job of stopping people from getting to the byline and whipping crosses in that are causing us problems for a defence. It's making the work of our defence so much easier because they're not playing with their back to goal. They're playing with their face forward. So I think they deserve credit. Coleman did the same job today. So I think we're overall giving really good, solid performances and defensively looking so much better. Even for the unsung players are doing a really good, solid job. So I think that's something that needs talking about as well.
Okay.
So that was a little rant I had to have because nobody ever mentions Mikalenko, and I love him. Right, is that it? Anything else?
I think that's me.
Oh yeah, Lampard. That was the one thing I wanted to say, wasn't it? It's talking about Lampard and like just the job that he's doing. He's rapidly becoming a very, very, very solid Premier League manager. I think that they all had in the betting for being sacked. And we all as Everton fans were watching from the out, like we knew what we were seeing and we knew what Frank Lampard was doing, and we all had faith even when they didn't. But I think now from the outside, because I'm seeing little videos on YouTube and little comments on Facebook from journalists and from other people, fans of other clubs and whatever, he's finally starting to get noticed and get a little bit of attention. And I think people are finally starting to give him the credit for what a really good job he's doing. What a really fantastic job he's doing. So yeah, that's the other thing is I wanted to give him credit as well.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it for me. I think I've pretty much waffled on enough. So if you two want to do your closing arguments.
Well, I'd just say one thing that I haven't said is that this was the first game we've scored 2 goals in. Every other game we've played that we've only scored 1. So that's a good improvement and a good stat to take. We've got to keep improving that. But overall, I'm very pleased to get an away win and an away 3 points and build up the table.
Yeah,
okay,
I think so.
I agree. It's going to be a good week. Without looking back on another failure to win a game. Our opponents next week have got other things to worry about, and we can relax and go into Sunday with with a lot less pressure.
Yeah,
sure. Guys, Jeff and Dan, thank you very much for joining me. Everyone, like and subscribe. Hopefully, we'll have maybe a player ratings if Dan feels a bit better. Otherwise, we'll be certainly back for the United preview.
Yeah, excellent. Nice one. Thanks everyone for joining and commenting and like. Make sure you don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. And see you all next time on the channel. Thanks.
Up the Toffees.
Up the Toffees.